Hello and welcome to the Sunshine Collective. This is episode 3, and today we will be talking about what are we talking about today?
How to go from a hobbyist to an actual entrepreneur, become fully booked out, and stop being so scared of selling.
Now, what does that all that include? Because I know that there are a lot of people who want to be entrepreneurs, want to start a small business because they have a good idea, because they have a product, but what stops them from becoming a small business owner, from becoming an entrepreneur?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that can stop someone, but most of it is fear. It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of success. It's fear of doing something that's outside your comfort zone. And so a lot of people just don't even start the business that they want to start. There are dreams that are very large, and it takes a lot of work to get the thing accomplished. Um, and so no one even puts the first foot forward to get that done. But if you're a hobbyist, if you're already doing the business side of, um, or I'm sorry, the fun side of the business, let's say, um, I think that the next step is making your business legitimate. Otherwise, you just have an expensive hobby.
Right, right. So let's maybe the best way to talk about how you become a new business owner, small business owner,
Mhm.
is what separates a hobbyist from a business owner.
I think it's creating strategies, really. It's taking the things that you're doing seriously and taking yourself seriously. I think a lot of people are so afraid to ask for sales, and that means that you're not taking your business seriously at all.
Right. So if you're giving away information, products, things like that, just because, oh, they're a friend, oh, I just want to help them, then you're not really doing yourself any justice, right? You're not giving yourself any credit that what you are doing, what you are making, what you know is actually worth anything valuable in the market.
I also think that allows your degree, certification, time in the industry to be just an expensive service, like free service at that point. You're not even giving people the authority over their own lives to make the decision that you are someone that they need to trust in.
Right. So you're not even putting value to your own qualifications or your own knowledge on the subject.
Yeah, and I think it actually gives a lot of clients weary about trusting in your authority on the subject.
Yeah, because a lot of authority from a subject, especially when it comes to small business ownership, is going to come from, knowledge-based authority
Mhm.
or, you know, um, just from the fact that you've been through the experiences, you've gone through the education and all that. And a lot of people who need what you know aren't going through all of that. They aren't putting the time in to do all that work. And so if you have, there is obviously value that's gone into it. And just on a very basic level, there's the value of the money that you put into that education or the time that you've put into that education.
Yeah.
Your time is valuable and your money's
So
valuable.
you deserve to live a comfortable life. I think that that is actually a whole different episode on money mindset. Um, I think something that many entrepreneurs struggle with throughout the whole of entrepreneurship, even those people that market a money mindset course, it can be very difficult to believe that you are worth the money that you're charging. I know that sometimes I even struggle with that. I know that my qualifications are worth it. I know the things that I do are life changing. Um, but there are times where I've had clients speak to me. I'm like, oh no, maybe I should give them a slightly lower price because I'm worried they're not going to be able to afford my services, and I really want them to get my service. But the thing is that part of the reason I price the way I price is because my energy is so valuable. I was at a point where I was taking 35 clients a week and I was totally burnt out. I mean, it was giving me autoimmune issues. I would come home and every night I was exhausted. I could get literally nothing else done at home. Um,
You were inflamed, you were sore, you took all of the bad energy from the people that you were massaging, and really it was affecting your well-being.
yeah. So my new prices, while they're not astronomical, they're definitely higher than they were. And part of that is because I need to protect my energy to make sure that I am showing up fully and authentically for every client that I am able to take. So now my max limit is 10 clients a week, and I can still make similar money that I was before, but I'm able to show up for them and I'm able to show up for me at the end of the day. And I think that's so important when you're not only booking clients, for themselves, but also for yourself, to value yourself enough that I'm able to put food on our table and pay our mortgage or our rent, or buy yourself something nice that you deserve to have.
Or if there's a big sale on groceries, go
Yeah.
out and spend as much as you possibly can on all those groceries. Not saying that's from personal experience or anything, but when you were first when you were first starting out in massage, what was it? Was there any real hesitation for you to say like, okay, I'm getting started. This is what I need to charge for it. Was there anybody that you just gave massages to because you knew who they were? You weren't even trading, you weren't bartering. You just said, "Well, I want this person to like me. I want this person to know what I'm doing. Therefore, I'll just give it to them."
Yeah, I mean, listen, that was 7 years ago, so I don't really remember everything, but I definitely believe that I did. Um, I actually utilized a friend's attic for a while as my massage space, and I'm pretty sure that I massaged the homeowner for free as a thank you. I definitely would go to different locations and do chair massages for free just to get my word out there. And I don't think that that's a bad marketing strategy, um, as long as the ROI pays off in that. You
Right. So in those situations, you have to make sure that, you have a QR code to your booking platform. You
hmm
have business cards that you can hand out. You have some kind of turnover call to action in that moment that
hmm
says like, "Hey, if you liked me, book with me.
yeah.
Like let's schedule something. Let's do it." So if there isn't a turnover into a sale, then it's not worth it.
Yeah, I think that that's going back to our original point. I think that that's really what differentiates someone who has an expensive hobby versus an entrepreneur. It's all that little extra effort that you put into your business. It's not just um, showing up for the day of an event or the day of a service, or just doing the service itself, whether that's building a website or massaging someone or whatever service you might do, acupuncture, hair, anything that you do. It's all of those little details that you really strategize to make sure that people like, know, and trust you, which is the three key components of creating a good brand and a good marketing strategy. Um, and it's creating relationships with every person you meet. And it's doing things like the QR codes. I actually think QR codes are 10 times more important than a business card. I barely carry a business card on me. When I do, I carry the dot card. My
You're
husband,
welcome.
yeah, my husband bought it for me. Was it 2 Christmases ago?
A little bit ago, yeah.
And I absolutely love my dot card. So not sponsored. I just really love my dot card. But
But it's one of those things, just like QR codes, that actually do lead to sales because
mhm,
it leads people to your website. It leads people to your point of sale
mhm,
online, your scheduling platform,
mhm,
and it can actually help you turn a profit better.
yeah,
But, to the point of actually getting from hobbyist to business owner, it has to be a point where you value what you're doing enough to say like, I'm not just going to, like I see somebody who has a need. I'm not just going to go give them everything that I know.
mhm,
I'm going to say, like, hey, I would love to have a consultation with you. I would love to book you. I would love to do these things because you did talk about somebody who had this wealth of knowledge, was concerned that they weren't getting any sales. And then as soon as they saw somebody who could have used the information that they knew that they were using for sales, they just kind of they
gave it
just
to
kind
them.
of gave all of their knowledge to them. And, as much as there is that desire to help people, and I'm sure that it is just their deepest desire to want to help people, you still have to make sure that you are helping you. If your goal is to help more people,
Mhm.
sales are actually going to help you reach more people
Mhm.
because you can extend your marketing, you can extend your platform, you can extend yourself, and therefore you will be able to help other people.
Listen, I think people are going to think I'm crazy when I say this, but I actually will see people in the grocery store and be like, man, they could really use a massage. There's an adjustment that needs to be happening. I can see their gait when they're walking. And my instinct would be to take care of them. I want to take care of people. That is my nature, correct?
It is your nature. It's to the point where we're in the store and you'll go approach somebody and say, "Hi, can I touch you?" Asking for permission to do it without saying, "By the way, I'm a massage therapist
Better at
and
that.
I'm licensed."
I have gotten better at that. But this is that we're all guilty of it. We all want to just take care of people. Many of us didn't get into the health, wellness, beauty industry just because it's funsies. I mean, we really genuinely want to make people feel better, look better, whatever that might be. Um,
Although I totally believe that there are people that got into it just for the funsies.
I mean, maybe.
However, you have to differentiate yourself from those people who are doing it just cause.
Yes. Um, but for those people who really want to take care of their clients, you have to create a strategy around that. And actually, that makes me think of, so what do you do when you have a client and it's the end of the session and you're like, okay, thanks, bye. Okay.
Yeah, what next?
Yeah, what next? I know a lot of people who just won't even rebook their clients, and it actually has it makes me bonkers.
Well, it's because it's seemingly the littlest amount of effort that you couldn't put into marketing yourself,
Yeah.
right? So it's as simple as like, "Hey, I hope you enjoyed your service. Let's schedule your next one."
Yeah.
Well, let's at least put it on the book so that, you have a spot available. And if you can't do it, we can cancel. But if you can, at least we know your spot's not going to be taken.
Yeah, and I employ the KISS method to everything, so keep it simple, stupid, or keep it stupid, simple. However you want to talk to yourself. Oh, but basically, you want things to be so incredibly easy for your client after their service that they barely even have to think about the rebooking process. You say, "Okay, I'd like to see you in 4 weeks. I have this time available and this time available. What works best for you?" That's
Yep.
it. That is the easiest marketing strategy you could ever ask for. You have a client already who knows, and trusts you. That is the easiest thing you could ever do for your business.
Yep.
Do not let them walk out of your office without rebooking. That is my number one rule.
Yep. And it shows that it did actually work wonders for you. I really do believe that it helped you out a lot. But it's to the point where there are going to be some people who are only going to just want one service. But you're never going to know if somebody truly wants to book with you on a regular basis unless you ask them to do so.
Yeah.
There will be people who say like, "Oh, I would love to get this every week," and it's an easy sale that way. But you still have to ask them, "Great, when can we book you again? How often would you like to do this? You want to do it every 4 weeks? You want to do it every 2 weeks? You want to do it every six
I
weeks?"
will stop you there because I actually think that asking a client those things puts the authority in their hands. Um, and I think that you need to create that authority.
More what I was saying is that if someone tells you that they would like to make this a regular thing,
Mm-hmm.
then you ask them, what is the cadence here? If
Yes.
someone does not indicate one way or the other,
Mm-hmm.
then you take control of the situation and say, great, we'll see you in 4 weeks on this day, this
Yeah.
time.
Or if an even better strategy to that would be to recommend the cadence. Hey, I'd like to make this regular thing. Perfect. Would you like to come in every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks? And don't offer them so many options. I always say you offer a minimum of, or I'm sorry, a maximum of two options, and both options are the options that you want them to choose. I mean, if you ask any other options, people get overwhelmed. It's confusing.
So I did see something more recently about it was a study regarding buyer's remorse. And if a buyer or a consumer is posed with more options, the more options that are presented to them, the higher the likelihood that they are going to experience buyer's
That's
remorse.
interesting.
Because there's always going to be that kind of nagging feeling of, oh, well, what if I picked something else? What if I chose this instead? What if I did that? I'm sure this would have been a little bit better. So presenting the minimum amount of options as you possibly can
Hmm.
is going to be the best.
I think it also lessens decision fatigue for the client. I think that we are so bombarded with every decision possible every single day that it allows us to uh, give con- give the reins over to someone else, saying, "It's okay. You're in safe hands. I will make the decision for you, and we will do this together." Which in the massage world is super important. The service is incredibly intimate, um, and so I think that that's a very important thing to do. Um, but I also, yeah, I really like that study. That's a really interesting study.
You're still coming back to that,
Yeah,
huh?
I really like that.
It's cool. It does kind of feed into the whole decision fatigue as well, right?
Yeah.
Because if you have a shorter list of options, there's a much lower chance that someone's going to have decision fatigue. Now, if you want to go out for dinner and you look at a couple different places and you say, okay, well, like let's look at the menu before we go out. The one with the bigger, more confusing menu is going to get picked the least often,
Yeah,
if you
I
ask
mean
me.
think about I want to say Cracker Barrel, but that's not what I'm
It's
trying to think.
Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory,
I knew
thank you.
exactly what you were talking about. Pages and pages and pages of options, and it's just too much. It's
Yes.
too much.
Yes, and people still choose Cheesecake Factory, but everyone complains about the menu length.
Yes.
And honestly, how many times are you often going back to the exact same menu item you've ordered the time before that?
Yeah.
I mean, you almost never deviate. And so I think creating a cadence in your services allows your clients to not deviate. It also secures a book for you. Your booking and your rebooking is one of the most important things that you can possibly do in your business. So let's take website building for example, right? So it's not a massage or hair or something that you can book them right on the spot. So you have tiers essentially. You have things that allow people to utilize the service that you are pitching at the beginning of your sales, right? That maybe it's that full website build. Well, then your next service pitch is that you run maintenance for them every month. And that allows you to keep someone as a long term client. The goal is to create a strategy where you're not just getting clients in the door, but you're keeping them on as long term clients. And so, say you offer, we have a lot of women in our circle that are, uh, they teach breastfeeding health. And so, excuse me. So, breastfeeding health is something that really is only going to be prominent in the first year of a baby's life. I mean, some people breastfeed beyond that, and some people breastfeed less than that, but for the most part, it's about a year long cycle. Well, what do you do after that? You have to create a strategy that allows you to continue having clients outside of the core business, the unique selling point of your business. Um, and if that's not something that's possible within what you do, then you create a strategy that allows an ease of new clients to come onto your books. So I'm not a big proponent of offering discounts. I think that it cheapens the business and it cheapens the type of client that comes to your business.
It also cheapens the value of your own service.
Yes. However, what I do believe in is that you offer I there is one discount that I absolutely believe in, and it's referral discounts. It's a thank you to both the client that you have for speaking so highly of you and the new client coming through your door saying, "I can't wait to take care of you." And so if there is any discount that you're going to offer in your business, offer referral discounts. Um,
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense because you are incentivizing people, not, looking for a way to have a cheaper service, but incentivizing people to say like, "Oh, I have to put in some work to, get this discount and also to get my friend this discount." but it's helping you at the same time, right? Because you're making another sale.
Yeah.
I think that it's very important too. I really do feel like as far as business goes, the one-time payment thing is kind of an outdated structure. The recurring payments is really what,
Hmm.
drives business a lot. And I work in insurance. You're going to have to make a payment at least once a year. It's a recurring payment.
Hmm.
You're always going to have some money coming in for that kind of business model. And I feel like a lot of other businesses that provide services and even products offer the same kind of recurring payments. And it's because there's a constant and steady flow of cash coming in. And
Yeah.
it's super important.
Yeah. So imagine, right? You're a hairstylist. Hairstylists are very similar to massage therapists in the fact that you book every 4 to 6 weeks, your hair recolored, touched up, whatever you may do to your hair. Well, one good strategy to keep clients coming in is offering packages for their hair. So they get a 6 month hair touch up package.
Hmm.
It they prepay in advance, um, and your prices might start out a little bit higher, but the prepay averages out the prices that you might have charged otherwise. Um, but it allows you to consistently have a book of business consistently. And then if you decide that you want referral discounts, thank yous for those clients, say they bring in a referral customer, well, they've already prepaid, right? So is there a gloss service that you could add on to their booking? Something that really allows them to step out of the salon and saying, wow, they really love me and they've treated me well, and I have a good relationship with my hairstylist. And that will allow them to continue referring people to you. So I think that recurring payment form is fantastic, even in a service industry. Creating some sort of package plan. Um, Acupuncture is a good one, for example, too, especially because acupuncture is still sort of a modality that most people um, don't quite understand yet. It's an alternative medicine style, which we're still getting used to in the United States. But having packages for acupuncture, um, you know, I think referrals in that sort of service plan is really important. Having maybe every service listed as an outcome rather than a 60-minute acupuncture, where it's a pain free acupuncture service, or 6 weeks to pain management acupuncture, or 6 week fertility acupuncture, or something in that vein. But you create a plan for that service that allows customers to really understand what they're getting and why they're getting that service.
Hmm.
And it allows a recurring client for 6 weeks. That's a huge deal.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And, you might have the argument that selling a package is a one-time sale. And in some of these cases, for a 6-week fertility acupuncture package, it could just end up being a one-time sale. But you extend a one service over a period of six instead, which really does change the game.
Yeah. So I wanted to let you guys know that I am going to be offering late January a fully booked mindset course, aligning your energy, creativity, and finances for success. I'll post the link on the description box down below. That's going to be $247. Um, so I hope that I get to see you guys there. We're going to dive really deep into mindset and structures and strategy, and it'll be super fun. So
All right. Well, thanks for listening to episode 3 of the Sunshine Podcast,
I hope.
Sunshine Collective podcast.
Close enough. We love you guys, and we hope that you have a phenomenal business.